Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to this next episode on depression help or of depression help. It's 9:30 in the morning, so there's no way I'm going to get it right if I try and guess what episode this is, but I'll put it up on the photo at the beginning. So I thought it'd be good to talk about sleep, even though I'm still half asleep. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but I always wake up feeling rough, and this week I've also kind of woke up with a headache. So I just kind of like get up, have something to eat, and then wait till I feel better, and then wait till I feel good enough, and then go to the gym if it's a gym day. So it's my other phone, sorry. So sleep is massively important, particularly if you struggle with depression or any kind of anything like that. So I think it's really important to guard your sleep, and I think that people that don't suffer with depression don't really get how big an issue it is if you're not getting a good sleep. And I found it really difficult when we moved from a big manse in Forfar to a flat in Perth, because my gran always said when we were younger, you don't know how lucky you are living in this house, and she was right. But yeah, I don't really, I've lived in a few big houses myself, and personally I'd rather just live somewhere that's no bigger than is necessary, because the bigger the house, the more work it is. So but yeah, you couldn't really hear other people, whereas then moving to a flat in Perth as a family, it was like you could hear everything, and I got woken up quite often because um, just it's a smaller space and you can hear more. So in air, my bed was like, the headboard of my bed was like against the wall of the stairs. So if people came running up the stairs at night, I would get woken up. And when I was in air, that was when I was studying at uni, and that was when I started training seriously as well. So I was getting up at like, I don't know, 5:45, 6 in the morning or something, getting a workout in before uni, and I was also doing gigs at night. Um, so basically, guarding your sleep I think is really important, and maybe helping people to understand how big a thing it is for you to get good sleep, because if you're anything like me, it can be hard enough to get good sleep even with really good circumstances, and it does make such a massive difference to, I mean, it makes a massive difference for anyone, but yeah, even more so if you suffer from depression. So I've for a long time I've tracked my sleep with, this is a Fitbit. The cheapest one now is like about 40 quid or something. I should really put a link up to Amazon, because I'll get about 20p in commission if you use it. Um, but yeah, basically it's really good for, I mean, obviously you can track your steps and things as well, which is what it's mainly designed for. And that can be helpful as well, I think, because it's kind of like a reward. If you have a kind of target that you're trying to reach, it can be like a reward, looking at how many steps you've done, particularly when you're trying to get from where I was, which was in bed, and really not really able to do anything much at all, to trying to increase my physical activity. And as I said before, I think that's always a good place to start, is increase your physical activity. And ultimately, if you can get to the gym, then I think there's massive benefit on that. I will talk about exercise, and that's something that I can give advice on, because I think I mentioned in another video, like, yeah, I qualified as a personal trainer and then forgot to say why I mentioned it, which, as I said in the last video, I seem to do that quite a lot. I forget what I was going to say. So yeah, what I was going to say was, so that is something I can give advice on. Whereas as I've said and will keep saying, I'm not a mental health professional, so I'm not here to give advice. I'm just here to talk about my experience and what I found helpful. Um, so I find it really helpful to have like some kind of fitness watch that tracks your sleep, and you can get one that will do the job on Amazon for like a tenner or something. So um, I think that's really good because you can see how much light sleep you're getting, how much deep sleep you're getting, how much REM sleep you're getting, and if one of those is off, then it's kind of matrix that you can use to talk to, the doctor about. It's data that's helpful to have. Um, so, and also like if you feel absolutely wrecked and you feel really rough, then you can look at, excuse me, you can look at your sleep chart and say, oh, well, that's because I got like half an hour of deep sleep. So that's not enough. That's why I feel wrecked. So, um, and yeah, if I suppose if you weren't sleeping well, then your doctor might suggest something that would help you sleep better. So sleep is massively important. I mean, I once gave notice to a housemate because she kept on waking me up, and the thing that was really frustrating was that she was like up early every morning because of her job, and I'm so cautious about not waking people up. I'm really good at creeping around, which probably I got from creeping around in the Manson Forfar late at night and coming in and out, so my parents didn't hear me. But I mean, I literally creep around like so quietly, like open doors really quietly and close them like stupidly slowly, because I can basically like move around without hardly making a sound because I don't want to interrupt anyone's sleep. And so I did that, and the other people did that at night. And then the first kind of period where that person wasn't working, they had the bedroom next to mine, and they were just like making loads of noise and keeping me up. So yeah, that yeah, that wasn't good. So I think if you need to change your situation, and I know some people can't change your situation if you've got kids or things like that, then it's not as straightforward. But if you can change something about your situation that's going to help you sleep better, then I think it's definitely worth considering. Um, in terms of getting to sleep, this is not a recommendation, but a GP friend recommended to me taking melatonin to help me sleep. And melatonin used to be a supplement in the UK, and in most of the world, it's a supplement that you can buy everywhere and anywhere. I can't remember whether it was last year or the year before, but it was then changed and maybe classified as a drug, I guess. It's basically like a synthetic version of your body's normal natural sleep hormone. So I kind of take that because it's like the most natural thing to aid in sleep, because it's just it's kind of giving you what would make you feel tired anyway. So definitely speak to your doctor if you're struggling with sleep, because they can give you advice and maybe even prescribe something that can help you get into sleeping pattern. If you're anything like me, it can take months and months and months and months to get into sleeping pattern, and then when you do it, it's good to really guard it, because for somebody else it might not be a big deal just staying up ridiculously late one night, and then they can just fall straight back into a sleeping pattern. But for other people, including me, then that could completely knock things out. So um, I've been on a sleeping pattern for probably about a month or 6 weeks or something now, and I came here, that's out of over 3 months, so it's taken that long to kind of get into a pattern. Um, Experts would recommend, or do recommend, that it's good to try and go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. And it's obviously freely known that your body has a circadian rhythm. That's not kind of that's a kind of well-known medical fact. So basically your body's designed to be sleeping when it's dark and awake when it's light, in really broad terms. And there's all sorts of processes that go on in your body when you're sleeping. Just things like your temperature changing and allowing you to go into deeper sleep, or that kind of thing. So basically, yeah, if it was like a GP friend, or GP, an old GP, that used to say to my mum from somewhere we lived that it was the hours that you got before 12 that count. I'm not saying that, but I didn't see the logic in that then. But there is some logic to that based on your circadian rhythm. Um, so yeah, I mean, if I weren't gigging, I would be going to bed early and getting up at like 5. Get up at 5, hit the gym, do a workout, set myself up for the day. And for me, that would be the healthiest sleeping pattern I could be in. I've chosen to do gigs again, and for me, that's an enjoyable way of making money, and also one of the major benefits for me is that it means that I can do other stuff during the day. So I do gigs to pay the bills. You're never going to get rich doing gigs unless you become David Guetta or someone like that. And I've never aspired to try and be a superstar DJ. It's just something that I fell into when I was at uni nearly 20 years ago, and kind of find that I got on quite well with it, and people seem to enjoy me playing. So it was a really good, it was a well-paid student job, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. So by the time I graduated, I co-owned an entertainment company, so I didn't have to kind of, so I kind of basically went from that to a full-time living, or I had a full-time living while I was at uni, which was great. So basically, losing my train of thought again. Yeah, sleeping pattern. Yeah, so being up early and going to bed early, I think is the best sleeping pattern, and that's not possible for me right now, and that's my choice, because of what I've chosen to do. Um, but if you can choose that, then that is, it's well known that not fighting against your circadian rhythm is better for sleep and health and stuff like that. Um, so your sleep, circadian rhythm, um, so falling asleep. Basically, one of the things that I found really helpful is listening to meditations. I don't have to do that just now. I'm in a really good place just now, which is great after years of being in a really bad place. And I was having to do absolutely everything. But if I were struggling to sleep just now, or to get to sleep just now, then what I would be doing is listening to a meditation. I don't know. I've got my other phone here. I don't know if it will focus or not, but let me try and find health. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but maybe not. It's called Insight Timer. You can just see it in the middle. Oh, it's not focusing again. There you go, top in the middle. It's called Insight Timer. And that's a free app, and it has loads of really helpful stuff on it, including meditations. So when I was living in the Land Rover and really struggling, I mean, I was literally like listening to a meditation on motivation, and then managing to work for like 10 minutes or something before then kind of collapsed into a heap again. So that's not a good place to be, and you shouldn't take that much to be able to do something. So for me, that was an indication that I wasn't on effective medication. It shouldn't be that hard. So basically, yeah, a meditation is really good to help your brain switch off. The other thing as well is, apart from meditations, there's also like sleep sounds on there. So it might be like crickets or like a burning fire. So for a long time, again, when I was really struggling, and when I was struggling not to think about, things that had happened to me and things that were really troubling me, and yeah, I I find it really hard to switch my brain off and not think about, the things that had really badly hurt me. And so I basically just like listen to campfire sounds or whatever. So when I was back at my parents coming back from breakdown, 100% every night I was listening to campfire sounds or crickets or whatever, and just focusing on the sound, and just like trying to keep focusing on the sound. And then that stopped me thinking about things. And that's how I was able to fall asleep. So, um, giving your mind something else to focus on, and if you've got a good imagination, you might even be able to imagine that you're actually sleeping out under the stars, listening to crickets and whatever else. The mind's an amazing thing, so it's pretty amazing what you can do if you try. So that was something that I found helpful, and I would still do. Fortunately, I don't need to do that right now. I'm usually pretty tired because I'm working 12 to 15 hour days probably. So I'm usually pretty tired by the end of the day, and I just watch an episode of something, and then just to the point where I'm ready to fall asleep, and then I just go to sleep. So that's really good. And it's different for different people. Some people, having I was speaking to a friend yesterday actually about sleep, and that could work the other way. If you just end up like ending up staying up too late because you're glued to watching something, then that could be counterproductive. So again, not a recommendation, just kind of, I definitely recommend sleep sounds and meditations for helping to wind down and switch your brain off. I used to have a hot tub when I lived in the big house, and that was brilliant, because then I was basically working two full-time jobs, so I was probably doing similar hours to what I'm doing just now, but it was a lot more emotionally stressful, and it was brilliant just to be able to finish, go and get in the hot tub and just relax. So most people don't have a hot tub. I don't either now. I don't have a bath either. But even like a nice hot bath, some kind of nice smelling bubble bath or something. Apparently lavender is supposed to help you sleep. I don't know whether that's a myth or not, um, but yeah, lavender, some sort of nice bubble bath. It's about helping your body to relax, because if your body's relaxed, then that's kind of easier for your brain to be relaxed. So if you're feeling very uptight and you're carrying a lot of tension in your body, then you're probably also feeling quite tense in your head. So that's a good thing to do as well. um Making sure you've got somewhere comfortable to sleep as well, because I was only planning on being, or I thought when I went to Ayrshire I was only gonna be there for a few months before I was going abroad. I bought the same bed that I've bought several of, which is good. It's not expensive, but it's good. And I'm filming from a bed, by the way, because it's a lot quieter than through in the living room. I'm right above the high street, so it's quite often noisy. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was just like a cheap mattress. I've always bought good mattresses, so but yeah, it was just like a cheap mattress. So yeah, for a few months I was kind of like sleeping on a pillow to get comfortable, but I just bought a really good mattress topper, and wow, it's so comfortable now. So having somewhere comfortable to sleep is really important, and it's definitely worth spending money on yourself to be able to get a good sleep. 100%. I mean, if you think of all the stuff that most people spend money on that isn't that beneficial, having somewhere really comfortable to sleep and good pillows as well. I think they're called deep sleep pillows. I think they're by Silent Night, but I find them so comfortable. So all that stuff just makes a difference. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would be helpful to talk about. By the way, if you haven't done so, then consider subscribing to my channel. It used to be 1,000 subscribers that you needed to get access to all the tools on YouTube, but now they've just reduced it to 500. Another friend was telling me that last week, so that's great. So I'm not that far away from 500, and once I get there, I'll be able to put up polls, and that'll allow you to suggest things to talk about. And I think there's maybe like an online forum as well that, you know, we could have conversations on. So the downside of making these videos accessible for kids, which you know, it's really obviously teenagers I'm thinking about, is that you can't comment on them, and I get why that is, but it just means that you know, you can't really kind of have a conversation about things the same. So, but do feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I keep Facebook for people I've met, so feel free to hit me up on Instagram if you want to give me feedback or chat about anything. Or I mean, kind of suggest anything, then it's good to do that as well. And I hope it's okay making a video when I'm still kind of half asleep. I'm getting busier now, so yeah, I kind of maybe need to do some videos when I'm on the run, or when I'm maybe not quite fully brain switched on, although it's not always often fully switched on, but it's less so in the morning. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. So this is going to be like version 1 of this video. I'll probably update all the videos at some point, because I haven't kind of sat down and thought, what's everything I know about this subject? I'm just kind of really off the top of my head. You know, life's a learning process. One of my favorite sayings is that as soon as you think you know it all, you stop learning. So I'm sure that I'll learn more from other people, and have other experiences that might be helpful to other people. So make sure you're getting a good sleep, and guard your sleep. If you have to take steps that you can take to make sure you're getting sleep, even if it means changing where you live or getting rid of a housemate or whatever it takes, it's so important to get good sleep. You know, you're already fighting against, or fighting, you're already fighting a battle that most people don't have to fight. So anything that you can do to kind of stack the odds in your favor, to make it easier, is 100% worth doing. And sleep is just massively important. Naps as well. One of the things I like doing my own thing is that if for some reason I'm really tired, and basically like it's never possible for me to apparently get like enough sleep that I'll wake up and feel good. And I can look at like the stats on my sleep, and I've had a good sleep, but I can still be really tired and need a nap. So the good thing about what I do is that I can just decide to take a nap if I need one. And yeah, naps are really good for me, and I'm sure other people find them helpful as well. And when I nap, unless I'm exhausted, like on my day off, I'll have like a 2-hour nap on a Monday, and then sometimes I'll maybe even need another nap later on. But on busy days, like if I've been busy during the day and I've got a gig at night, won't have a lot of time, but I don't really sleep, but I'll kind of set my alarm for 20 minutes and at least close my eyes and try and sleep, and I still feel better after that, even though I'm not sleeping. So yeah, I found naps to be really important and helpful, as long as it's not too late and then it's affecting your nighttime sleep. Also, I'm not a good person to talk about caffeine. I couldn't do what I do without caffeine. But there have been periods where I've been off caffeine completely, so I can do that, and I think that's probably the healthiest scenario for me, because if you drink a lot of caffeine, you're basically sending your body and brain on like caffeine highs and lows. And according to scientists, if you do need caffeine, if you are addicted to caffeine, then you can't function at your highest level without it. So you kind of need to keep having caffeine. So, but yeah, if I weren't gigging and needing to be still quite awake late at night, then I wouldn't be drinking caffeine after probably lunchtime. Because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to go to sleep at like 9 or 10 o'clock, which is what I would be doing if I was getting up at 5. Um, so yeah, I hope that's helpful to you and that I haven't waffled too much. And I hope that you're doing okay or even good. And if you're not, then hang in there. And as I said before, I've been there many times, could have given up several times, and I'm glad I didn't. And I mean, literally, like, yeah, literally, like when I came here, I was thinking, man, maybe I've just already had all my good luck because it felt really like for 3 or 4 years that I was poo out of luck. And yeah, so I wouldn't have guessed that. I mean, I didn't actually know. I didn't know that I would be able to get back to being me and to functioning well. I mean, when I didn't say this, but when I had, when I reached the point of breakdown, um, there was a period where I was looking at benefits and things like that, and actually part of my thought process was that am I going to end up having to just stay with my parents? Am I always going to now need to be sort of looked after, or can't be independent? That's how bad it was. So that's like night and day compared to now. So yeah, keep fighting, hang in there, and don't be afraid to ask for help. If you are struggling, then please talk to a mental health professional, your GP, anyone, anyone qualified. And there's no shame in asking for help if you're struggling. Everyone struggles at times. And yeah, people can't help you unless you want them to, so you have to let them. So I hope you have a good, it's a Thursday, I hope you have a good weekend, and hopefully it's not been much more than a week since I posted one, because I said I was going to try and do one every week. So yep, stop waffling, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.